Oh no, someone who wants me dead died. Anyway, I'm having a salad from Sweet Green. It's the Autumn Harvest Bowl. You got what you deserve. I'm sorry, you're a bad person. Bad things happen to bad people. Celebrate it.
Hey guys, welcome to Normal Gays, where we take on LGBT insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson. Yeah, this is going to be a little more somber. We are hopping on for an emergency episode after the really disturbing shooting and killing of Charlie Kirk, the right-wing influencer. Clarkson, I know you've been following this for hours like I have.
I was at the gym when it happened and I just decided to open my phone or open X. And then it's like the first thing you see is that young girl who was stabbed on the train. And then 2 minutes later, I hit refresh and I'm watching a video of Charlie Kirk get shot in the neck. And it's gruesome. It's very hard to watch and not have like a visceral, very human reaction. It's bad.
But covering the internet and covering social media, you can guess what happened next. I will say that, like, most mainstream liberals and Democrats put out statements immediately denouncing this. Your Gavin Newsoms, your Kamala Harrises, your Joe Bidens, they don't support this. But the online left-wing fringe is bloodthirsty, low key. So, can you guess what I discovered when I went to look on Blue Sky, the hell site?
God.
I went to the account of a transgender YouTuber with more than 200,000 subscribers named Jesse Gender. Can you guess what was being said over on that Blue Sky account, Clarkson?
Jesse Gender.
Jesse Gender, yeah.
I'm going to guess Charlie Kirk's opinions on which bathroom Jesse should use is her or his justification. I don't know. You can only allude or come to one specific conclusion when it comes to that type of YouTuber.
Yeah, so I'll read you this first post. There is no place for political violence in this country, say the politicians using legislation and rhetoric to attack trans people, immigrants, women, and BIPOC daily. Just because it's done with a pen and not a gun doesn't mean it's not political violence. Hypocrites, not that they care. So apparently rhetoric that hurts people's feelings or policies you disagree with are now akin to violence, akin to the video we saw of a bullet going through Charlie Kirk's neck. Yeah, that's insane.
Just because it's not done with a pen doesn't mean it's not violence. No, actually, that's exactly why it's not violence. Because violence has a definition. And violence is violence. It's not just things that you don't like. I'm sorry that, maybe you live in Florida and you have to have a specific thing on your driver's license that doesn't align with your gender identity. Sure, that's a disagreement, but does it warrant murder?
No.
I think you can very easily say no here. And I can promise you, and I said this on my Instagram, most of these people who are supporting this or making snarky comments about it, they have conservative relatives, conservative fathers, grandfathers, cousins that are most likely just as or more radical than Charlie Kirk. So if your justification for murder is that they hold this set of opinions, then you're essentially justifying the murder of half the country.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is that you can't have this kind of thing one way. I always condemn political violence, whether it was the attempted assassinations of Trump, whether it was the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, the murdering of those Democrat lawmakers and state lawmakers a couple months ago, anything. I always condemn it, but you can't have it just against the people you dislike. So the same exact twisted, tortured logic, well, they did policy violence against me by having all the beliefs and ideas I disagree with, could be 1000% used to kill the people that you like, Jesse Gender, or frankly, even, and I would never support this, to justify violence against you for the positions that you've taken. I would never wish such a thing. I would totally condemn it. But if you want to play this stupid game of, well, the people who disagree with me and have the opposite extreme views are doing violence with their legislation and their rhetoric, they can say that about you and justify atrocities. You do not want to open this Pandora's box, but it's been opened in American history in the last few years. And I don't know, man, I'm really worried.
I know. I'm starting to think because I really try to understand why it is that people don't. I don't know that they're just okay with this type of expression of their humanity. But I think what it comes down to is that they don't have the foresight. to understand that it can come back to bite them. And truly, I think if they understood that and that it will come back to bite them, they might hold back on their opinions. We used to have that mutual understanding that there has to be some sort of civility with politics or else it can turn very bad. But I think we've kind of lost the intellectual capacity to understand that.
Yeah, and also the dehumanization is really severe. So it's like they don't think about Charlie Kirk as a person, as a father of two young children who are going to grow up without a father. Like they just think of him as the guy who trolls on Twitter or says things that hurts their feelings. Like there really is, and you'll see this in the opposite direction. You'll see dehumanization from right-wing rhetoric, but it's like we need to remember our common humanity. And I think people lose sight of that. And once you lose sight of it, you can start justifying all sorts of atrocities.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that if something were to happen to, a right wing or a left wing figure, that there would be the same type of small amount of comments coming from the right too, because everybody has their radicals. But like, I don't know. It's just seeing how flippant. Even I've gotten DMs from my own mutuals that are like, "Why do you care?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, because I don't support murder gleefully." Like, I feel like that's a fairly simple response. Safe
What
to say
the
they're no longer my mutuals, um, because I don't get it. Like, how is it so widespread that maybe it's just because 'cause we're all chronically online, so you have to detach from your humanity in order to be okay with it?
Maybe
Like,
they don't go outside. Maybe they only interact with people over a screen. So it's like there's a layer of separation that contributes to
well,
dehumanization. I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean, I feel like psychologically speaking, you have to dehumanize Charlie in this instance, because if you don't, then you have to come to terms with the fact that you're just sick and you support murder. And that's
Mhm.
really what it
Well,
is.
and
So
then
then
they
he said this, he said that, and it's like, no, you're justifying why you're okay with somebody being murdered.
Yeah. Well, and then they do this thing where they say, "Well, I don't approve of it, but I don't not approve of it." So, like, I'll read you this other post from Jesse Gender. Like the United CEO, do I approve of extrajudicial vigilante shootings? No. Random assassinations don't help. Parentheses. This is not a condemnation of all political violence. But do I feel bad for people like Kirk when shit that they have openly helped to continue finally happens to them? Also, no. So it's, I would appreciate it if they said it with their chest a little more. Like,
Yeah.
you do approve of it. It's pretty obvious you approve of it.
Do I feel bad for him? He's not asking for you to feel bad for him. He's dead. Like, it's just so this is like insane. I'm ashamed to be the same species as these people, truly.
Hmm.
Like, I just
And
it's a
I
very
will say
dark
this, like, I don't want to attribute this. This is not a position all Democrats, all progressives hold.
no.
There is this left-wing fringe on the internet that holds this very loudly. And then specifically within LGBT community, there is a militant trans wing. Not all trans people. I'm not even sure it's most trans people, but it is a lot of the online activists and representatives have like this bloodthirsty streak that I
Mhm.
find disturbing. The punch turfs, kill turfs, smash turfs,
Oh,
or
I
I
get
guess
him
in
all the
this
time,
case,
yeah.
kill Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like the people who are on Reddit forums, like those people who haven't left their basement, they're being radicalized, they're most likely incels. Um, it it's hard to ignore because I'm somebody who always fence sits. Like, we know that. We know I'm always like, well, the right does this too, the left does this too. But in this specific, especially when it comes to violence, we saw this with the Trump assassination, we saw it with everything. The group of people who are okay with political violence is much larger on the left, simply put.
Oh
It
yeah, I mean there was polling that came out about assassination culture that showed pluralities, or I think even small majorities. I covered on my show at the time of left of center Americans were supportive of assassinating Trump or Elon Musk or I mean, again, I'm not saying it's all or lots don't, but this is a real freaking problem. All these millions of crazies on the internet, these YouTubers who 200,000 followers, only a couple of those followers have to be deranged enough to listen when their leaders when their thought leaders say stuff like this and think maybe I should do it too. I just think you have a responsibility if you have a platform to never advocate for violence in any way.
Yeah. And unfortunately, many people who have platforms now are not worthy of them. And we even talked about this off camera a little bit about like journalistic integrity and how it doesn't really exist anymore. People don't reach out for comment. They don't really look into anything. They just run with stories. And I feel like politics becoming a source of entertainment for people rather than a source of facts and real news has contributed to this culture because people are entertained by division and more division leads to violence.
Yeah, and I guess if you view your enemies as just like villains in a story or in a
Right.
drama, it's easier to root for them to be killed off, I guess, when
Yeah.
they are people. And I'd be absolutely saying this about a left-wing commentator or influencer. Now, a couple more posts that these are ones that Jesse Gender retweeted. Liberal politicians, if you are so disturbed, just pretend Charlie Kirk was a Palestinian child and you'll get over it in no time.
My fucking God. Everything has to go back to fucking Gaza, bro. I just
The
and
water, like, and listen, I have tremendous sympathy for the Palestinian people, but
me
the
too.
watermelon crowd on social media, like they're crazy and they just are obnoxious. Um, and then this is true too. I saw a lot of on Blue Sky, a lot of the trans activists when I went to see what they were saying about this. One of them posted, "If that news is true," referring to Kirk being dead, "don't say anything you wouldn't want to see screenshotted and spread all over right-wing media." Yeah.
I
Fair,
mean,
that's what we were doing, but it's like, so you're just telling me the reason that they're not more openly celebrating his death, though many of them are, to be clear, but some of them are being a little more strategic with their language, isn't because they actually are against murder, it's just because they don't want right-wing media to have proof that they support murder.
honestly, I want to go back to your point about how like the heroes and villains in a drama because I don't think we talked on that enough. Social media to them is a movie. That makes so much sense that they look at Charlie Kirk as like Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Phineas and Ferb or something, or like the villain that nobody likes. It's like that's the simple answer is that all of this is just a joke to them. This isn't actually reality. This is just online. And until
Wow.
you've like been in the industry, I think, or you're somebody like you see it and you think of, a father or you actually are able to empathize with it, I think it's very easy to just be like so flippant with murder, unfortunately.
Mhm. I wanna show you another video. This is from a gay TikToker being very glib and openly saying he's glad Charlie is dead. It's honestly kinda
Making us
disturbing.
look so good.
Yeah.
Oh no, someone who wants me dead died. Anyway, I'm having a salad from Sweet Green. It's the Autumn Harvest Bowl. I get so annoyed at Democrats for being like, this is the time for God. Shut the up! They celebrate when we die. I don't care to have moral superiority over these people. Piece of shit. You got what you deserve. I'm sorry. You're a bad person. Bad things happen to bad people. Celebrate it. It should happen more often. Not death necessarily, but like karma. Big fan of it in this regard. I don't know. I'm honestly convinced that this is why Democrats lost in 2024. Because I'm like, some of y'all are weak. You should be able to say, thank God that my dead. Thank God that piece of shit is no longer able to cause harm. It's a miracle. Hallelujah. Ding dong, the witch is dead. No one mourns the wicked. Hello? We all saw that movie, right? We all saw Ariana Grande do her damn thing. It's about that. Like, and goodness knows.
Oh, she really thought she was cute in that.
He's
really-
he's f***ing disgusting.
That's horrific. I just like I don't what are you talking about? Like this should happen to more people? What do you think
sick.
Charlie Kirk and he also said Charlie Kirk wants him dead. Charlie Kirk does not want you dead. He probably did. I mean, we know Charlie Kirk doesn't agree with being gay, but that doesn't mean he wants gay people dead.
He
I
probably
mean,
wants them to, like, convert to Christianity, but also even I don't know exactly what his views are, but even a couple of years ago, he was, like, pretty chill with gay people, actually. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, I think the Overton window has most likely shifted a lot of people's views in the last few years. But I mean, either way, I would put money on the fact that he would not want that TikTok creator dead. So he like generalized everybody on the right as this like evil Nick Fuentes type that wants gay people dead or whoever on the right. And it's just like, oh, okay, so now that justifies murder.
it also doesn't, even if it's not true, but even if it was true, it's like, the people who want me dead, I don't want them viciously murdered. I don't want their children to grow up without parents. Like, I still don't wish that for them because I'm not sick and evil and twisted.
Well, yeah, and if you also want to play like the, left versus right game, these are the same people who are okay with somebody who's been, incarcerated 12 times roaming the streets and murdering someone. And we need to rehabilitate these criminals because they don't deserve to get the death penalty. But then when it happens to a right winger, ding dong, the witch is dead. Like, give me a break.
Also, it is such a bizarre and insane political take to suggest that, like, if Democrats were more openly violent and more supportive of murder, they would have done better in elections. That's the opposite of reality, babe. Like,
also, based on what? Like, your subjective opinion. Okay, so you just want to murder people, and now you're saying that that'll help Democrats win elections to make your opinion seem more valid. Like,
it will not.
What's crazy is that I saw that guy on TikTok like right after the election, and he was talking a lot about like why Democrats lost. And I remember him making some like okay points criticizing the Democratic Party, and he got a lot of like MAGA followers liking his video. And his mom, I believe, is like is a Trump supporter.
Oh, if that's true, that's all the more
I'm
effed
like
up.
99% honestly, I'm like 100% sure, but I'm going to say allegedly anyways. But he's made videos with his mom talking about her vote, and then he talks about his vote. And now he's saying that it's like, okay, I have no idea what's going on. It's probably just for clicks, to be honest.
Maybe, and just to try to seem cute and edgy, but it's not. Yeah. It's disgusted, crusted, evil. And then also, I'm going to crash out if they keep referencing Wicked. No one mourns the wicked. I have seen the musical, okay? The point is, the song is about someone who's not actually wicked. Did you know? You know that, right? It's about the freaking green lady who was wrongly, through propaganda, portrayed as wicked, even though she wasn't, and they were all cheering for her death. No one mourns a wicked, blah, blah, blah. But the point of it is that she's not actually wicked, and it's a smear, and they're bad for supporting the death of someone. It's like they don't have any literature literacy or media literacy of any kind. Even the examples they prove to try to do their big one are massive own goals of their own evil meltdowns.
That's such a good point. I didn't even think about that. They're literally proving the points of the other side. Like they're playing into the narrative that MAGA is actually, the good guys working to save the country.
That's what that example suggests.
Yeah. That's wild. God,
it's crazy.
It's a really sick time in this country. And I'm trying to find like calmness in it by just like looking back through history and thinking, there's been many times where stuff like this has happened. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it feels very dire and extreme. But I'm trying to remain hopeful because, humanity's dark, and I think we're just seeing it very easily now on social media.
Yeah. But my heart, I know your heart goes out to Charlie's family. This is terrible. If you guys are the praying types, say a prayer. If not, just uplift them. But we have to stop this, right? We have to speak loudly across the aisle, across political and ideological and religious and LGBT or not LGBT, and say with one voice, this is not who we are in America. We do not solve our differences with bullets. We solve them with ballots and open discourse and debate. And the one thing I'll say about Charlie, I criticized him, disagreed with him many times over the years. He will go down for what he is known for is debate and civil discourse. He would go to these college campuses. He would debate people. He would encourage his fans to be respectful, let people talk. He would be calm, even if those people yelled at him. He was a role model in that, and I think we should learn from him on that much. That is what America needs right now. More of that, not more of this unhinged rhetoric from LGBT, woke, insane, left-wing people. It's sickening, but it is what it is, and that's why we're here, to call it out.
Yep, that's it.
All right, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet, and we'll be back with more. We wanted to talk about this, and it's more serious, but we'll be back with more normal gays content that's more lighthearted, more entertaining. We'll be back with that real soon.